Good afternoon, everyone. It's my privilege to welcome you to the 47th annual meeting of Visit Tri-Cities. We will begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise and join me in addressing our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Rich Cummins, and it's been my pleasure to serve as the chairman of Visit Tri-Cities this past year. This past year has been remarkable, and I've truly enjoyed attending our monthly Board of Directors meetings, where 44 board members strategize on how to build the tourism industry to be a more effective economic engine. The theme of this year's annual meeting is culinary tourism, the hidden harvest. Agriculture and tourism are two of the strongest industries in our region, so the idea of promoting them together really makes a lot of sense. With a growing wine industry, the success of the WSU Wine Sciences Center, the groundbreaking at Columbia Gardens Wine Village, the success of culinary entrepreneurial ventures such as Food Truck Friday, and the addition of new restaurants featuring locally sourced ingredients, we're truly poised for greatness when it comes to the art of culinary tourism. In a few minutes, Kris Watkins, our CEO, will outline all of the year's activities, as well as the projects we will focus on in the coming year. But first, I'd like to extend my thanks to Washington River Protection Solutions for their sponsorship of today's annual meeting and reception, and for their valuable partnership. Please join me in thanking WRPS. Two things before we begin. I want to introduce our honored guests, our electeds, and I also want to tell people who are at all antsy about Game 7 of the World Series that when we get to the reception hall, there'll be a big screen television with it broadcast, okay? Game starts at 5. I was born in Cleveland and grew up in Ohio, so no comment. I want to acknowledge and thank our honored guests and elected officials for joining us today, and ask that all give them a round of applause, please. Is Congressman Newhouse here yet? Is he here? Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. We're very fortunate to have Congressman Dan Newhouse with us this afternoon. I'd now like to ask him to come to the stage to address us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I'll tell you what I was doing in a minute, but I have a good reason why I'm wasn't on time. But I want to thank you for inviting me this afternoon. This is quite an honor, actually, to be a part of this group, to really, I guess, informally partner with you in a discussion how we can continue to make the Tri-Cities one of the most prominent tourist destinations in the state and certainly in our region. You know, we've got a number of factors in Central Washington that make this potential real. Whether it's, as many of you know, I'm a farmer, so I think there's certainly a lot of potential in our agricultural tourism area. Certainly we have a great history in our participation in helping to win World War II, as well as the Cold War. But certainly we have a lot of natural beauty here, too, that attracts people from all over. Our rivers, our mountains, our deserts, a lot of things like that to take advantage of, a lot of natural beauty. You know, as I said, I'm a farmer, a third-generation farmer. In fact, we've got fourth generation now on our farm. I was also a state legislator, served in the governor's cabinet as the director of agriculture, and now have the honor of being able to represent you in Washington, D.C. in Congress. So I have always taken the opportunity to promote the area I am from, every opportunity I get. When I was director of agriculture, for instance, I had several opportunities to travel abroad to help promote many of the fine products that we produce right here in Central Washington throughout the state. And let me just tell you, literally, people have a real hunger and thirst for the products we produce, literally. They really do. Whether it's our fine wines, which some of our fresh fruits and vegetables. Did you know if you eat a French fry almost anywhere in the world, it probably came from the Columbia Basin? People all over the world love what we do here. If you see the iconic Washington apple label in almost any country, people are drawn to that because they know it's high quality. It may cost a little more in some areas, but they know it's something that they can depend on as a good product. Here in the state of Washington, we are closest to the Pacific Rim, as you know that geographically, the closest of the lower 48 states. And so we have a tremendous opportunity to reach those emerging markets, the growing middle class in countries like China, like Vietnam, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, all those countries that we have a natural advantage over many other areas in our country. And we need to capitalize on that, and we've been doing that. So I'll continue to do that in whatever capacity I can. Developing our agricultural resources, our industry here, has other tremendous advantages as well. Just speaking of wine, you know that we're the second largest wine producing region in the country, right? Albeit it's a far second from number one, California. However, we are one of the fastest growing wine producing regions in the world. And I think we have a tremendous amount of potential yet to be achieved. So that's exciting. Did you know that in our region, because of the wine industry, we get approximately 2 million visits a year from people that are interested in wine? That helps support over 2,000 jobs. It's a $5 billion industry to our state. But it's not just wine. There's lots of other things as well that people come here for. A lot of things that we are known for around the world. I'm a hop farmer, and I can tell you that most people in the country don't, if they know what hops are, they've never seen them grow. We see a tremendous amount of interest in something that really kind of took me almost by surprise. I grew up on a farm. This is everything we do every day is pretty common. It's just humdrum stuff that's just habit. People are very interested in our way of life. And so we get a lot of visitors that we should start charging, actually, for the number of people that come to see, especially during harvest time, that want to see hops being picked. It's amazing. If we were smart entrepreneurs, we could capitalize on that. My wife and I were fortunate enough on our 25th wedding anniversary, we went to Italy and stayed. We came from a farm in central Washington. Guess what? We stayed in a farmhouse in central Italy. But it was actually fun. And it wasn't anything, not the bright lights of the city or anything like that. It was just being around the things that they do every day that was just very interesting to us. And I think sometimes as, many of you, all of you, residents of this area, lived here a long time. The old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. I think sometimes we have to step back and look at what we have through the eyes of a visitor. What is it that they might see that is intriguing or interesting that we don't even see anymore because we see it every day? I think that's the kind of thing that we have to remember to capitalize on those assets that are unique to our area. And there certainly are a lot of them. Like I said, we have a proud history here. The Hanford Nuclear Reservation offers a lot of interest to people around the world. I've been very supportive of the B reactor and the New Manhattan Project National Park. I used to be able to say it's the newest national park in the country. There's been a couple more added since then, so it's not quite the newest anymore. But you probably heard the number. We've seen over 50,000 people come to visit the B reactor since 2009, and that number is projected to grow tremendously over the next few years as the park gets established and people are put it on their list of things to do. Geographically, the Tri-Cities area is almost an ideal location. We're equidistant from Seattle, almost Portland, Spokane, not too far to Boise. We're in a tremendous area geographically. And now getting into talking about geography also reminds me of geology, which is one reason I wanted to tell you why I'm late today. I was able to spend a few hours this morning and early afternoon. The first time I've been able to do this, although I've been very interested in it ever since a young child, of touring through the help of Gary Klein Connect and his friend, that's a hard name to remember, let me tell you, and his friend from Wenatchee, Ken Lacey, showing myself and one of my staff some of the neat things about the Missoula ancient floods. You've all heard about that, right? It's just a tremendous part of our geological history that we have right in our own backyard. And I think that as people become aware of that and discover what it is, the story that the rocks and the dirt and the water formations that we have in this area, the story that has to tell is going to draw more people here to Central Washington. So the bottom line is we have a lot of assets. We really do. We have a lot of things going for us, a lot of things that maybe we sometimes forget. I don't want to say take for granted, but we just sometimes forget that they're here. And so that would be my message to you. As we work together to improve the tourism and the ability for us to show ourselves to the rest of the country and the rest of the world, let's not remember what's right under our own noses, that we really do live in a tremendous area. We're very blessed by many of the things that we have right here. And let's not forget that. And I pledge to you to work together with you to share them with the rest of the world. So thank you very much for having me. And I think this is a tremendous meeting.
Thank you so much, Congressman Newhouse, for coming to share some thoughts with us this afternoon. I think you're absolutely right. When we put on a new pair of glasses or see this place through the eyes of a newcomer, this is an extraordinary place. Thank you. So I would now like to introduce the Board of Directors. It takes the guidance of a dedicated group of community leaders to reach the level of success that Visit Tri-City has had. We're very fortunate to have very talented professionals who agree to serve on the board. As the chair, I greatly appreciate the support and willingness that they commit in time and energy to build a better community by creating a strong tourism industry. I'd like to recognize the 2016 Board of Directors. So the Executive Board, Steve Simmons, First Vice Chair, Dawn Hart, Vice Chair, Kathy Moore, Vice Chair, Rob Roxburgh, Vice Chair, Ron Huey, Treasurer, Suzanne Heaston, Past Chair, Ken Miller, Legal Counsel, Monty Nail, CPA. And the full Board of Directors, Carl Adrian, Ron Anderson, Commissioner Don Barnes, Jerry Beach, Commissioner Jim Beaver, Troy Berglund, Karen Blaisdell, Mark Blotz, Debbie Bone Harris, John Bookwalter, Gloria Boyce, Christine Brown, Senator Sharon Brown, Mayor Pro Tem Richard Buell, Kyle Cox, Ron Foraker, Colleen French, Tom French, Shay Frechette, Representative Larry Haler, Monica Hammerberg, Scott Keller, Councilman Tom Larson, Councilman Phil Lemley, Lori Matson, Greg McConnell, Karen Miller, Monica Mu Young, Ray Moss, Vijay Patel, Corey Pearson, Maynard Plahuta, Justin Raffa, Martine Valadez, Stacy West, and Mayor Steve Young. Please give it up. Thank you. Now it's time to recognize our outgoing board members who've completed their terms. Karen Miller with the Benton PUD has served on the board for 8 years. Karen's out of town and couldn't be with us today, but thank you, Karen. Greg McConnell with the Tri-City Herald has served on the board since 2012, and we greatly appreciate his involvement. And Greg, we want you to step forward to the front of the room to receive your service award, if you would, please. Oh, you already have. I need to learn to multitask. Election of new board members. So now I'd like to introduce the chairman of this year's nominating committee, Steve Simmons. Steve, please join me at the podium for the election of new board members.
Before I present the nominations for new board members for approval, I'd like to recognize and thank the members of the nominating committee. This year's nominating committee was made up of 9 board members, including myself. The group was dedicated to the efforts to identify a quality slate of candidates for your consideration. The committee included Ron Foraker, Deb Bone-Harris, Suzanne Heaston, Council Member Philip Limley, Kathy Moore, Vijay Patel, Martine Valadez, and Mayor Steve Young. On behalf of the Board of Directors and our membership, I would like to thank all of you for your service to our organization. So, according to the bylaws, each year, subject to the approval of the Board of Directors, a minimum of 5 members in good standing are nominated to serve on the board. It is the duty of the nominating committee to secure nominees for elected 3-year directorships. The 5 nominees presented by the nominating committee for 3-year terms are Kyle Cox with Mid-Columbia Libraries, Rich Cummins, Columbia Basin College. Rich, we'd love to have you back. Ron Huey, an individual member, Ray Moss, Mission Support Alliance, and Stacy West with Bechtel National. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
May I please have a motion from the membership to approve the 2017 slate of membership, new board members?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the slate of nominees as presented.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. So now, please join me in welcoming the President and CEO of Visit Tri-Cities, Kris Watkins. Kris will be presenting the 2016 tourism update.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a great crowd, and I thank all of our members for participating in today's annual meeting. I've had the privilege of serving as your CEO of Visit Tri-Cities for 22 out of the 47 years we've been in business. And I would say one of the most gratifying experiences that I have witnessed is how this community embraces projects and has embraced tourism and invested not only in our programs, but the infrastructure which helps grow a strong and vital tourism industry. If someone had told me that we would have one day 791 dues-paying members, I would have been surprised. So I thank you all, each and every one of you, for your investment in tourism. I've also been very, very fortunate to work with individuals that really believe in our mission and our vision of this organization. And one of these special individuals this year, of course, is my chairman, Rich Cummins, who has done an outstanding job of leading our board and our staff with an infectious enthusiasm. And he has challenged us to explore the hidden aspects of our community that we can channel into new and exciting avenues as we grow the tourism industry. And one thing I always tell Rich, he's an academic, was an English teacher, but I've never worked with someone that is more visionary and more entrepreneurial in his thought process than Rich Cummins. So, Rich, I want to thank you for your one-year service, and hopefully we can get you back in 2017 as well. Each year, in preparation for our annual meeting, we choose a theme, as Rich had mentioned, and this year's theme is Culinary Tourism, the Hidden Harvest. The hidden harvest we are referring to is the fact that we realize that many people don't realize the true impact of the tourism industry. And culinary or otherwise, it is a huge industry, not only nationally, statewide, but in the Tri-Cities as well. So in the Tri-Cities alone, visitor spending was $432.9 million. And when you consider all of the small businesses that are in the Tri-Cities region that are part of the tourism industry, that's funds that are helping them to grow and to build and to expand. And in addition to that, we have 5,900 Tri-Citians that are employed in the industry. And I'm very confident with all of the exciting new projects that are on the horizon that we can count on the fact that the travel and tourism industry will continue to grow and be a very vital component of our Tri-Cities economy. Our Tri-Cities hotel industry is growing rapidly, as most of you know. In fact, if you compare January of 2015 to where we will be when all of the current hotels that are under construction open their doors in early 2017, our industry will have grown the number of guest rooms of close to 25%. And I can tell you that that kind of increase in available inventory is creating some angst among our hoteliers as they struggle to adjust to their new fair market share. Competition is fierce amongst our hoteliers in the Tri-Cities, but the destinations that are competing destinations are also fierce competition for us. And those are areas such as Spokane and Yakima, Vancouver, and other cities throughout the Northwest when we're competing against sports and convention groups. Those destinations are usually at the table. The demand for the Tri-Cities remains fairly strong, and there are positive developments that will translate to increased visitor activity. And while occupancies are nearly flat to last year, hotel revenues are slightly up, showing a 0.6% growth in revenues. And just as a reminder, the year for comparison is 2015. And as you all may recall, that 2015 was a banner year where we showed a 9.5% in overall growth revenue. So all in all, the industry is doing well. But I will say that we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us as we have those additional hotels to fill. And it's just not business as usual at Visit Tri-Cities. In fact, it never is. Every year we take a look at all the programs that we have and we shake them up and say, are we getting deliverables? Is this working for the Tri-Cities region? And we also take our plans and we take them over to our hotel partners. Every hotel is surveyed in the Tri-Cities region to determine whether or not our projects are working. Are we bringing business to your hotels? Because they're the first to know whether or not our tourism programs are working. We also solicit their feedback with their directors of sales and their ownership to make sure that we haven't missed anything. We also research our competition and in terms of what sales programs that they have implemented, and then we just roll up our sleeves in preparing our Tri-Cities Regional Marketing Report. This year, I'm not going to take you step by step in reviewing our overall deliverables of our programs, but I will say in 2016, when that is complete, you all will be receiving our annual report, and that annual report will detail all of our deliverables for each one of our programs. And I encourage you, as you're reading the report, if you have any questions or like to sit down with my staff or myself, we would welcome that opportunity. But today what I would like to talk to you about is our philosophy in developing our marketing plan, which includes both short-term gains, which translates to heads and beds for our hotels, and also long-term infrastructure that we've been working on for many years and will continue to work on, such as the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. Colleen French has done a great job, as well as many, many people that have been involved in the process, but we've got our work cut out for us and we've got a ways to go. But by gosh, we've seen an increase in the number of people visiting the park. We also have river shore enhancement projects that we're working on. Regional wayfinding, I'm going to be really, really excited to tell you all about that when we've completed that project at year end, but it will be a regional wayfinding signs and kiosks where we're promoting each other's cities. We'll also develop sports fields and trails and other projects. And again, this organization is either a catalyst or in a leadership role, but we stay with it to beginning to end until the job gets done. In terms of marketing and sales, we believe in taking a multifaceted approach where we use a variety of mediums to reach a large and diverse group of potential visitors. Our approach was primarily in Western Washington for many years. We've just started to expand that this year, and then into next year, we'll be moving into the Boise market, Spokane in television advertising, and Portland. So we started in Washington State on the west side, and now we are growing. So it's the Northwest, and hopefully in 5 years it's nationally and then international, so stay tuned. So where are we investing those programs? What kind of marketing mediums are we using? Television is one that we utilize. We do TV advertising throughout the Northwest, and we do really feel that that is a wonderful way of being able to have people visualize what the Tri-Cities looks like. And it shows the great quality of our life, of our quality of life in the Tri-Cities region. And when we're selecting those TV spots, we make sure that they're well-selected TV spots where people are not apt to TiVo through. So we've really gotten quite a few positive remarks in regards to those TV ads. We advertise in very targeted publications for meeting planners, for sports enthusiasts and tournament directors. We advertise in leisure travel publications and, of course, to our wine lovers as well. And pitching stories, we're always pitching stories to travel writers and editors in a number of publications that we will outline in our annual report. Digital advertising has become a very important part of our marketing plan. And the benefit of digital marketing, as most of you know, is how accurately you can pinpoint your audience. Our state-of-the-art website is one of our main portals and was one of the main portals for the Tri-Cities region, where people go and they can learn about the Tri-Cities as a place to visit, work, and play. All of our advertising efforts highlight our community brand, which includes a vibrant lifestyle and our bigger, bolder, and brighter Tri-Cities messaging. And all of this marketing boils down to complementing and enhancing the efforts of our Visit Tri-Cities sales team, as well as our other economic development partners like Tridec and our ports and chambers. We believe in face-to-face marketing. Our staff participates in at least a dozen trade shows and out-of-town sales events each year. Our trade shows give us instant visibility and helps build the confidence and trust with our customers, and it allows us to deliver our message to thousands of potential visitors in a very short period of time. Our marketing strategy is working. We have generated 240 qualified leads to our hotels and our public venues. They're just not the names and phone numbers we're giving over. They're very comprehensive leads that we know these meeting planners and sports tournament directors are looking for a destination to hold their meeting or sports tournament. This year alone, our office will have booked 62,250 guest rooms into the overall market. And that program alone on convention and sports, and I'm highlighting this one because for every dollar that we invest in that program, we receive $35.19 return on that investment. Which brings me to the fact that in order to grow this very, very lucrative business for the Tri-Cities, we do need to expand the Three Rivers Convention Center. If we can't find a way to fund expansion, we are at risk at losing existing convention groups and being left behind as our competition grows to this very important segment of tourism. I'm hoping, or I'm keeping my fingers crossed, that we move forward next year. I'm not making any announcement because I don't know, but to the powers that be, I hope that enough people are showing an interest. We lost it by a very small margin. But I'm going to send out a war cry to you all if the leaders-to-be decide to move forward and ask each and every one of you to get involved and make this happen. And I assure you that our Visitor and Convention Bureau team will fill that expansion, and we will keep the business and we will grow the business. And as I mentioned at the beginning of my presentation, I have been very fortunate to work with many wonderful volunteers in the community, and I also consider myself to be very blessed with a dynamic and dedicated team of professionals who promote, market, and sell the Tri-Cities region on a daily basis. Visit Tri-Cities staff, I know you're throughout the room and hopefully you're not next door, but I'm going to ask you to stand in the room and so I can introduce you and also acknowledge the hard work you've done this past year. And audience, if you could just hold your applause until they're all standing, if they are in the room. Operations and Administration, Kim Schugert, there she is. Gretchen Guerrero, Under membership and visitor services, by the way, we are the second largest membership organization for a destination marketing organization in the state of Washington. I'm very proud of that. And that's led by Michelle Chun and Summers Mia, that does an excellent job as servicing all of our customers and visitors. Mary Spanner. Under sports sales and marketing, we have Hector Cruz and Dan Mulhausen and Alicia Brown that cover that department. Convention sales and marketing, I have Laura Watkins, Maria Wally, Chelsea Armstrong, Kelly Merrick. And under destination marketing, Carissa Sayers and Heather Willoughby. Again, I do consider myself very blessed to work with these fellow professionals. They are really a hard-working group of professionals in our community, and I think they do it because they love the Tri-Cities and it's a passion. And I want you to all join me in thanking our group, our staff, and give them a round of applause. In closing, I want to thank the cities of Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, and West Richland for their investment in tourism. We do receive hotel motel tax through all of our cities and work very closely with their economic development people. I don't think there's 4 better cities in the entire nation, so I want to thank each and every one of you. And I'd also like to acknowledge our diamond investors that have helped elevate tourism to a new level. My sincere thanks goes to Washington River Protection Solutions for their overall investment in many of our programs and also for sponsoring this evening's event. Bechtel National, who has been our corporate sponsor of Rivershore Enhancement for 16 years. Battelle for sponsoring our Heritage and Ecotourism program for 15 years. Thank you, Karen Blaisdell and Battelle. MSA for sponsoring our marketing and media outreach that's so important to the Tri-Cities region. And the Three Rivers Convention Center and Toyota Center for not only their sponsorship of our convention marketing efforts, but also their hard work in helping us put on this event this evening. In addition, I'd like to thank Nick Wagner with Charter Communications. Nick, I think you've been with me for all the 22 years. We very much appreciate the hard work that you do each year with Charter. This evening's meeting is going to be televised on Charter, so thanks again, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you. It's been great, wonderful working with all you wonderful members. And so, again, this concludes my report for this evening, and thank you. You've been a wonderful audience.
We have 2 more presentations left. We have 2 awards, the Excellence in Tourism Award and the Tourism Champion Award. To introduce or to present the Excellence in Service Award, Karen Blaisdell will be joining us. The Tri-Cities Excellence in Service Award was designed to encourage all of those who interface with visitors and the public to go above and beyond to exceed their patrons' expectations and to formally recognize those who exemplify the ideal for providing excellent service. We greatly appreciate Battelle stepping forward to sponsor the award again this year. Battelle's Karen Blaisdell has chaired the Excellence in Service Award Committee since its inception in 2012, contributing many hours of her time and creativity to build the program. Battelle generously sponsors the grand prize for this program. Please join me in welcoming Karen to the stage.
So good evening. As you heard Rich, I'm Karen Blaisdell with Battelle, and I'm honored to serve as the chair of the Excellence in Service Award Committee again this year. This year we had an excellent turnout with 28 nominations from all different sectors in the service industry. All the nominees can be proud of the jobs that they do that play an important part in helping their businesses remain successful. We judge the nominations based on a stringent set of criteria. Does the nominee serve as an example to others? Does the nominee provide excellent customer service? Does the nominee assist in creating a memorable visitor experience? So this year's Excellence in Service Award goes to a business, and here is how they stacked up with the measured criteria. So does the nominee serve as an example to others? Yes, they do. This company is a new business in the Tri-Cities, and even with all the hard work that goes along with opening a new business, the staff found time to donate their talents and resources to the Union Gospel Mission, to the Humane Society, United Way, and Second Harvest. Does the nominee provide exemplary customer service? Once again, they do. The business is part of a large internationally branded organization. They apply several metrics to gauge their performance for service and their customer satisfaction. Our award winner scores near the top of the charts in many of the categories. But more specifically, they are in the top 1% in guest satisfaction, ranking 13 out of 1,287 hotels nationwide. To rank that, you have to have a lot of happy customers that are satisfied enough that they're willing to go out and fill out a satisfaction survey. Does the nominee assist in creating a memorable visitor experience? There were a number of examples provided to us as to the thoughtful and unique things that the staff of the business have done to make their guests feel special. But perhaps the most important is the culture that has been created for those who work in the business, caring about those staying in the hotel by providing the little things that make their stay memorable. From providing popcorn and movies to a group of sports teams that found themselves with a few extra hours of downtime, to surprising a young guest that was very disappointed they were spending their Christmas in a hotel, to recognizing birthdays and anniversaries of hotel guests. This hotel goes above and beyond. So it is with all that in mind that I am pleased to announce that the winner of the 2016 Excellence in Service Award is the new Hampton Inn Kennewick in Southridge. Lauren Keller is the general manager for the hotel. Lauren, would you please step up? She's here. And receive the award and the $500 gift card for the hotel. Again, congratulations to the Hampton Inn Kennewick at Southridge and Lauren Keller.
Congratulations. Every year, we like to recognize an individual or group in the Tri-Cities community that has contributed to enhancing our tourism portfolio. Rob Roxburgh, presenting our annual meeting sponsor, WRPS, representing, will announce this year's award. Rob?
Thank you, Rich. The Tourism Champion of the Year is the most prestigious and honored award that Visit Tri-Cities extends each year. The winner is an individual or an organization that has provided leadership in the tourism industry and helped support the events and efforts of Visit Tri-Cities. This year's award goes to a locally owned business. This business was started in 1996, and although at the time it was not thought of as a tourism-related business, it has since grown into one of the most popular attractions for visitors coming into or traveling through our region. This business started out small and unassuming, but has grown to be extremely successful. In fact, they recently expanded. From the very first beginning, the owners and staff of this company supported the efforts of Visit Tri-Cities, and our success has supported their success. But that's not why they provided hours of time to support our media outreach and convention sales efforts. No, even early on, when our marketing department, which is the branch responsible for promoting the Tri-Cities by getting journalists to write these wonderful articles about our region, even when our marketing department would call on the staff members to request information, or perhaps we need a property tour, during times that might be convenient for journalists, but aren't necessarily convenient for agriculturally related businesses. Well, they granted our requests, and they met us with a smile, even during the busy harvest season. Now, not only would they accommodate travel, wine, and food riders, but they would greet convention meeting planners and allow us to have nearly full run of the place when they needed to do photo shoots. And then, if you can imagine this, they sent us on our way with fresh produce and even chocolate in hand. And it wasn't just us that they treated with such hospitality, it was every single customer who walked through their doors. Now, these entrepreneurs certainly understood culinary tourism long before the rest of us could. They could have been successful just opening a storefront and selling farm-fresh produce. But they understood that if you can provide outstanding products and service, offer it in a way that allows for an authentic experience, mix in a little entertainment here and there, then you will truly have something special. With Max Uriostegui on board to create culinary strategies and Monique Koss available to make sure that things run efficiently, well, certainly you can agree with me that they have come up with a winning recipe. And so it is my honor to congratulate the Country Mercantile and its owners, Jay and Janice Woods, as well as the rest of the staff, as our 2016 Tourism Champion of the Year. Please join us right up here. Congratulations.
Well, this is an honor. We appreciate it. Much of the work that goes into anything like this is dependent on their team of management. This is a great team of management that makes Country Mercantile what it is. And a lot of the things that we've heard today are very complementary with the ideas that we have had. Anybody can sell a product, a great quality product. And that's almost a given in today's world. You have to sell the best quality product that you can make. In addition to that, we believe, as was said, the experience of that product is as important. And we feel that the Tri-Cities is a wonderful place, and the people that come here are experiencing things. And so at the Country Mercantile, we've provided ways for people to see things being made, have a great product, but have an experience that they are willing to tell everybody about. That is one of the secrets of return customers, because the best advertising is word of mouth. When journalists come here from all over the world, they have an experience that then they want to share. And all of this is due to the management team that we have of giving them that type of an experience. And we grow and develop according to the best advice that we can get, and that's from our customers. And so the chocolate that we make on site, the bakery, all of the items that we have, we try to make the best quality that we know how to make. And it's singular to the business that we have. And then we want them to have the experience that not only do they say that's wonderful and it's just my favorite, but the experience that they get in viewing this agricultural product that we have also. This is a great place. There is no place like the Columbia Basin for the harvest of agriculture. And so it's our opportunity to introduce people who do not know anything about that to the wonderful ideas of fresh produce, wonderful people, and a great place to come visit and return. Thanks.
Thank you. Great remarks, and congratulations, Country Mercantile. I know my family has always found it a joy to go there, and we are repeat customers. This concludes the business meeting portion of our event. I'd like to invite the winners of the awards to please step forward before you take off so that we can get some photographs. And thank you all for being part of this magnificent community.